Don't get me wrong, Frisco, Texas is a great place to live, and I really love living here, but it's not for everyone. There are tons of people moving to Frisco, and it seems like a lot of people are coming from California. But there's also a tons of people that are leaving Frisco as well. If you can't handle these 10 things, then Frisco may not be the place for you. I'm going to tell you guys the top 10 reasons not to move to Frisco, Texas, and we're going to start right now. Number 10 is the weather. It's really, really hot in the summer and it's really cold in the winter. So in the summer, you're going to have temperatures in the hundreds where you're going to be hot. You're going to walk outside. You'll have just showered and you feel like you already need to go back inside and take a shower again because you're already dripping with sweat. You've got that humidity, which just really locks it in and makes the heat a little bit more unbearable in the summer. Then in the winter, you've got cold. So you've got snow, you've got hail, you've got sleet, ice. I found out when I moved here that if it snows, they typically don't close the schools down. But if it ices, then they close the schools down. You also have tornadoes here. And on the first Wednesday of every month in Frisco, they do a drill where the sirens start going off and you're going to hear somebody speaking over a loudspeaker. The first time I heard that, I freaked out. I had no idea what was going on. I grew up in San Antonio, but they didn't do that down there when I grew up. So the first Wednesday, they do that drill. You can hear somebody talking. First time I walked outside to see what it was. And then one of my friend's moms actually said, "Oh, I forgot to tell you that. It's the drill. First Wednesday, you don't have to worry about it." So if you don't like the heat and the humidity, and you don't like it really cold in the wintertime, Frisco may not be the place for you. Number 9 is bugs. Tons of bugs. There's these little tiny little bugs that bite you, and we call them no-see-ums because you can't see them. But you'll be sitting outside, and all of a sudden you start itching and you're scratching your legs, and you look down and there's nothing there, but you can see bites on you. Those are the no-see-ums. They gotcha. Make sure when you're outside, especially at night and there's mosquitoes, that you put your bug spray on because otherwise they're going to start eating you and you're going to feel like you get eaten alive. There's also fire ants here. And I know some places don't have fire ants, but they're huge ants. And when you get bitten by a fire ant, it hurts really bad. When I was little, I remember we heard this little girl crying. My brother and I were outside playing. We heard a little girl crying and we ran into the back of our yard. There was like a field behind us and she had sat down on a fire ant bed. It was terrible. She was covered in fire ants. My dad ran out there, got her all brushed up, got her back to her house, but she had to go to the hospital because she was bitten so many times by fire ants. So you have to be careful when you're walking around. And if you see a mound, get away from it. Just stay away because if it's the fire ants, they will hurt when they bite. There are also roaches in Frisco, big water bugs, and they are attracted to water. That's why they're called water bugs, but you will see them and they can fly and they're really gross and they're disgusting. And you also have June bugs. June bugs, you will find them all over your front porch in the summer, covered in the summer, and they fly too. And they're not real big, but they're just annoying. So you've got those. So you're going to have bugs here. If you don't want to be somewhere where there's a lot of bugs, Frisco may not be for you. Number 8, Texas is huge. You can drive all day and you can still be in Texas. It's just that big. You're going to need a car to get around too. So if you're coming from somewhere like say New York, where you weren't driving anywhere, you were maybe getting on the subway or the metro or taking a taxi, you're going to need your car here because you're going to want your car to get around to places. You're probably not going to be able to walk to the grocery store. You're probably going to have to drive to the grocery store. So that's another thing you have to think about. And in North Texas, you can drive for miles sometimes and never see another car, which for some people, that's a great thing. For other people, they want to be around a lot of people and see a lot of cars when they're driving. And if you're used to seeing mountains, you're not going to see any of that here, but you are going to see some beautiful, beautiful landscaping here. When the sun sets, it's gorgeous. It is really beautiful. But again, if you want those mountains, then Frisco is not the place for you. Number 7 is utilities. Now, there's not just one utility company to choose from. If you're coming from another state, you may have had just one utility company, so you didn't even have to think about it. Well, in North Texas, you have multiple utility companies. So you really want to do your research and pick the one that's going to be the best one for you. Otherwise, you might be paying out the nose for your utility bills. There are some companies that will even research the utility companies for you. They'll find out which one is going to be best for you, and then they can set you up with that. That may be the way you want to go if you're trying to figure out which utility company is the best for you. Number 6 is registration and driver's license. You got to get your car registered as soon as you get here. You can't get your driver's license until you have your car registered. So if you go to get your license and don't have your car registered yet, they're going to turn you away because they're going to say any car registered in your name has to be registered in Texas in order for you to get your driver's license. You have to have the car inspected, which is pretty easy. It's only about $10 to pay for that, but you got to make an appointment to get your car inspected, and then you go get your registration. Then when you're ready to get your driver's license, you have to schedule an appointment for that. It can take a really, really, really long time to get that appointment, especially now. We're in 2023. It seems like they are so busy that they are scheduling months out in advance. So make sure you plan. If your driver's license is getting ready to expire, make sure you get in so that you can get that quickly so you can get it taken care of, because you don't want to be without that driver's license and have it expire on you. And the good thing about getting your driver's license here is that you can actually go to any county and get it. You don't have to go to the county you live in. You can go to any of the counties, which makes it easier. That way you can look around, see which county has the lowest or the shortest wait for you to get your driver's license, and then just get right in there. Number 5 is the toll roads. It seems like anywhere you drive in North Texas, you're going to take a toll road. It really is the fastest way to get around, but it's also going to cost you money. You can have 2 ways you can do it. You can either put your card on file and then they just charge like $100, and then they just make sure when you get down to like say $20, they go back up to the 100. Or you can do the pay as you go, where every time you go through the toll, then you'll just get a bill in the mail and you'll pay it that way too. But it really is the fastest way to go. You can drive on the frontage roads. You can do that, but you've got light after light after light when you're on the frontage road. If you jump on the toll, it's quick, gonna cost you, but it's probably gonna be a little bit quicker for you, especially if you're trying to get to work or go to a restaurant or something like that that's not close to your house. The toll is probably the best way to go. And you're even going to get tolls when you're going down, like say into Austin and San Antonio. There's tolls there too. So chances are you're going to get caught on a toll somewhere in North Texas. And number 4 is the crowds. It's getting really crowded in Frisco. Frisco is really booming and growing right now. So you have a lot of people moving into Frisco. So there's a lot of building going on right now. So you've got construction going on all over the place, people moving in, grocery stores are more crowded now, just stores in general are more crowded because just more people are coming into Frisco. It's just how it is right now. There's a lot of traffic because there's so many people here now. So make sure you're planning out your times for the best time to go. Same thing with the grocery store. Plan out your times so that you can go at a time that's not as crowded. I like to go early in the morning just because I can get it done, and it seems like people are not really there very early in the morning. So that's how I'm taking it. That's how I'm dealing with the crowds. Number 3 is affordability. Now, 2 to 3 years ago, it was way less expensive to purchase a home in Frisco, Texas. Now, since 2020, as y'all know, prices have been rising. With more people coming into Frisco, prices have been going up. The average income in 2020 was about $130,000 for people living in Frisco, and the average price of a home was about $420,000. Now in 2023, the average price for a home in Frisco, Texas is about $650,000. That would be for a home that's about 2,000 to 3,000 square feet, 4 bedroom, 2 bath. You can find homes for much less too. If you're looking for a smaller home, you can get it at a better price too. But again, that's just kind of the average that will give you an idea. And keeping affordability in mind, you might want to check out some towns that are close to Frisco too, that may not be quite as expensive, where you may enjoy living just as much as Frisco, Texas. Number 2 is property taxes. Property taxes can be pretty high in Frisco and North Texas in general. You don't have state sales tax, so that's kind of a good thing, but property taxes can be high. So make sure when you're looking at your home that you're also looking at what the property taxes are. You want to make sure that you don't overextend yourself and end up having a much larger payment than you really wanted to in the first place. So when you're looking for your house, that's something to keep in mind is the property taxes. You don't want to end up with property taxes that are so high, it makes your monthly payment higher, and it's a payment that you're just not comfortable with. So you really want to do your research, and I can help you with that too, and let you know areas that are not quite as costly with property taxes as other areas. And the number one thing is Texans love Texas. We love our state. Just like don't mess with Texas, that's exactly how it is. So if you're nervous and you don't want to be around people that are very, very, very comfortable with their state and love it here, Frisco may not be the place for you. Texas may not be the place for you. But if you come here, believe me, you're going to meet some friendly people and you're going to make friends that will last a lifetime. So in this video, we talked about the 10 reasons that you may not want to move to Frisco, Texas. Number 10 was the weather. Remember, it gets hot in the summer, cold in the winter. We have tornadoes. The next thing was bugs. Lots of bugs in Texas, lots of no-see-ums, so make sure you got your bug spray on when you go outside. The next one was Texas is huge. You can drive all day and still be in Texas and never get out of the state. The next thing was utilities. Remember, there's not just one utility company here, so you have to do your research and figure out which utility company is going to be the best for you. The next thing was registration and driver's license. Don't forget, your car has to be registered before you can go get your driver's license. Next thing was the toll roads. Remember those toll roads, they're everywhere. And Texas is starting to get crowded, especially Frisco, since it's growing. We talked about affordability and how house prices have definitely gone up since 2020. So just make sure you do your research and find the house payment that you're comfortable with. The next thing was property taxes. Remember, they can be high here in North Texas. So you want to, again, make sure you do your research. I can help you out with that and find some places that may not have such high property taxes. And the number one thing was Texans love Texas. So don't mess with Texas. Thanks so much for watching my video. If you hadn't had a chance to, make sure you click on that subscribe button and hit that little bell so you get notified every single time I post a new video. And don't forget, when you click on the like, it helps the videos get out there so that other people are wanting to move to Frisco will be able to find the videos a little bit easier. If you need to reach me, you can call me, text me, email me, Zoom, Skype, whatever's more comfortable for you. See you next time.